G'day, it's Dan here from League of Brewers, top of the South Island, New Zealand, and today I'm in my home brewery, so I wanted to share a couple of things with you. Today I am currently halfway through a transfer from a Fermzilla. I've got an IPA, West Coast IPA in here. I've fermented it under pressure using a Spunding valve. The reason for using a Spunding valve, many of you folks out there already know that use a Spunding valve, why you use one. This basically keeps your beer under pressure while fermenting. The Spunding valve will burp at whatever pressure you set it at. So I fermented this IPA at about 14 psi. So when the Fermzilla built pressure to 14 psi, Spunding valve, which is attached to the top here on a gas post, burps CO2 and basically stops the tank from rupturing. If you didn't use a Spunding valve, your tank would rupture. So no matter what sort of tank you had, if it was stainless steel or if it was plastic, you would end up basically with a ferment exploding. So I'm also using the Spunding valve today to transfer the beer into my keg. The reason for that is I've got carbonated beer here. I don't want to lose any carbonation, so I need to be able to transfer my beer into the keg with a certain amount of back pressure. So the Spunding valve here I have set to 12 psi. I have my regulator, which is putting the pressure onto the Fermzilla, set at around about 15 to 16 psi. So there's a 3 psi difference between the Fermzilla and my keg. What can happen with a Spunding valve, because you're basically going down the liquid tube here in your keg, is if you have your Spunding valve attached directly to the gas side on your keg, the keg can overfill and then you end up with beer in your Spunding valve, and basically that makes your Spunding valve all sticky and it doesn't work very well after that. So I've also come up with another device here called the Spunding valve bypass into a rigger. So the beer will come through and hopefully it's going to fill this rigger before it gets to the Spunding valve. So I'm going to attach the Spunding valve here. I'm already most of the way through my transfer. The Fermzilla is still under pressure, so the beer is going to come in here. I'm just going to connect my Spunding valve. You'll hear it bleed. There we go. It's set to about 12 psi. So the beer will get to the gas dip tube inside the keg, come via through here and fill up this rigger before it gets to the Spunding valve. So let's see what that looks like. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. But yeah, the basic reason for doing this is to keep the carbonation in your beer in the keg. You've gone to all the trouble of using the yeast to ferment and carbonate the beer at the same time, saving precious CO2 once again. So you want to keep that carbonation in the beer in your keg, so there's going to be minimal CO2 needed to, you know, top the carbonation up in the beer. It won't be 100% carbonated going in here. I'll lose a bit due to turbulence, but yeah, it's going to be mostly carbonated, alleviating the need to wait for 5 days to get your beer carbonated. So I have got to the bottom of the transfer here, and I paused the transfer because I just want to demonstrate how this bypass rigger filler works. So I'm not sure I'm going to fill this rigger, but it gives you an idea of what's possible if you want to do a bigger brew, for instance. So I've just disconnected the beer line, and you can see here the rigger is filling up with beer. It's coming via the double disconnect down through a tube into the rigger. It's still under pressure, so this beer here will be totally drinkable. You'll be able to remove this rigger for, I don't know, you want to try this first before you try your keg. You can take it away to a party. So I'm going to cut it off there because I'm ending up with a heap of yeast. But you basically get the gist here of how that works. Now disconnect this. Still under pressure. Now it's about half full. But for instance, you could do a slightly bigger beer. I know a lot of you guys out there are brewing slightly bigger batches, or you might be doing a style that doesn't have a lot of hops in it. This beer has a lot of hops, so I've probably lost a good 4 litres of beer, which means I've only got myself a half rigger this time. But I have a full keg of beer. So this is the Spunding valve bypass with filler. I think this is going to be a good idea to protect your spunding valve. I can remove my spunding valve now, still under pressure. I can remove the top 2 disconnects, still under pressure. Here's my rigger of beer. So let us know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments about this bypass filler, and if you think someone would be interested in seeing the video, please share it. And if you want to join the league, please subscribe to our channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy brewing. Catch you later.